All right, today I have the pleasure of reviewing the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition Dynamic Microphone, and I actually used to use an Audix mic back when I played live shows, so this is really awesome that I get to test this out from them. But really quickly, they did send this microphone to me for free, and I do get to keep it, but as always, this doesn't affect my review at all. They don't get to see this video before I post it or anything like that, so let's get into it. All right, now let's get to the specifications of this microphone. This is a dynamic XLR microphone. It has a hypercardioid polar pattern, and its frequency response is 50 Hz to 20 kHz. All right, let's see how well this microphone responds to plosives. Peter Piper popped his peas, resulting in plosives. All right, let's see how well this microphone responds to the proximity effect. All right, now I'm about 6 feet away from the, what the f is it called? All right, now I'm about 6 feet away from the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone. All right, and now I'm about 3 feet away from the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone. All right, and now I'm about 6 inches away from the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone. All right, and now I'm right up on the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone. I'm curious to see how it differed at those different distances and how bad the proximity effect is when I get this close to the microphone. Can you hear a ton of bass come up into the audio? All right, and now I have the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone boomed above me. This microphone was most definitely not made to use like this, like a shotgun microphone, but just to give you an idea of what that would sound like, here you are. I need some WD-40. Where's Hank Hill when you need him, you know, with that WD-40? He's even got that spare little backup can, just in case he can't get the top off of the other can. You know what I'm talking about? If you know, you know. It's a heavy microphone. Very well made. All right, now I'm in the front of the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone. I'm moving off to the side. I should be being rejected right now, and then as I get around to the back of the microphone, I really should be getting rejected. Probably a lot of microphone handling noise in this one. I get around to the side of the Audix, and now I'm back around to the front of the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone, and that is the polar pattern test. All right, as always, in this blind A/B test, let me know in the comments below if you can tell which microphone is the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone and which microphone is the SHURE SM7B. All right, so through my tests, I found that the Audix actually has a bit more low end than the SHURE SM7B, which could also contribute to why it sounds a bit warmer and a bit darker than the SHURE SM7B. And actually, that surprised me a little bit because the SHURE SM7B already sounds quite dark and quite warm, especially compared to a lot of other microphones out there. And some people don't like that. Some people love that, like myself. I love a darker or warmer sounding microphone. It makes it much easier to listen to long form content. But I was still very surprised to find out that the Audix had a bit more low end and sounded a bit darker than the SHURE SM7B. Now, it might be very subtle, so make sure you're definitely wearing headphones if you're listening to this right now. But I will say a big difference between these two microphones is the fact that the Audix doesn't require nearly as much gain as the SHURE SM7B does to get healthy levels out of the microphone. So the good news about that is you won't have to buy a gain booster like you would with the SHURE SM7B in a lot of cases. But the other bit of good news is audio interfaces and mixers these days have so much gain that most of the time you don't even have to buy a gain booster for the SHURE SM7B anymore. All right, let me know in the comments below if you could tell which microphone was the SHURE SM7B and which microphone was the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone. That's a mouthful. All right, and this is what the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone sounds like in an untreated environment. Definitely not ideal. You can hear my voice echoing and bouncing off all the hard surfaces in here. There's absolutely no acoustic treatment whatsoever. So this is how this microphone sounds. Now, normally dynamic microphones do a much better job at rejecting a space and ambient noise, but this is quite an extreme example in a really echo, it's basically an echo chamber in here without any treatment whatsoever. So even with the dynamic microphone, this doesn't sound great. But now let's go up to my closet that's actually acoustically treated and see what this microphone sounds like in there. All right, and this is what the Audix PDX720 Signature Edition microphone sounds like in an acoustically treated environment like my closet. I have many various acoustic methods in this closet that all come together to make it sound as dead as it does in here, and this is how this microphone sounds in this space. Now, I definitely recommend this microphone for both content creators and podcasters. Just like with the SM7B, it has a very warm or dark tone to it, which, as you know, if you watch any of my other videos, I'm a really big fan of, because it's best for long-form content as to not fatigue the listener's ears over time. If you have a really bright microphone or a really bright sound, then it's going to fatigue the listener's ears, especially if it's longer form content like audiobooks, YouTube videos, podcasts, things like that. So when it comes to things like that, I always move more towards a darker or a warmer sounding microphone. Now, anyone who watches my channel or my videos already knows what I'm about to say, but no, I don't recommend this microphone for voiceover work. Now, before I get into why, let me just say, if it were up to me, I'd absolutely suggest using a microphone like this for voiceover as well as the SHURE SM7B. However, I totally understand why the voiceover industry and agents and audio engineers don't want you using a microphone like this when it comes to voiceover work. If you want to find out why I don't recommend this microphone and others like it, just go check out the video I did on screen right now. In that video, I cover all the reasons the industry doesn't want you using microphones like this and the SM7B for voiceover work. That's just the way the industry works. It's not up to me. It's an industry standard for a reason. There's a lot of reasons that go into it, and you can find out all of those in that video. All right, now, my overall thoughts. This mic has a bit more low end than the SM7B, which also makes it sound a bit darker. What's cool, though, is the fact that it doesn't require as much gain as the SM7B. It still requires quite a bit of gain compared to a large diaphragm condenser or shotgun microphone, but still not as much as the SM7B, so you definitely won't need to go out and buy a gain booster for this microphone. Now, it should come as no surprise that I really like how this mic sounds, because I'm also a really big fan of how the SM7B sounds. Totally subjective, personal preference, but it's just my cup of tea. Obviously, it's on the expensive side at $800, so you definitely have to reach a little deeper in your pocket on this one, but I do really like the way it sounds. And a huge thank you to Audix for sending me this microphone and engraving my name on it. That just blew my mind. Well, you know what they say.